Hi everyone, it's Toby here. It's Tuesday, the 3rd of March, and today is the 10th day of our stitching together on House of Hearts by Modern Folk Embroidery. Yesterday I managed to stitch almost 800 stitches, which is super surprising as for Monday. And I am at 89%. So, as you can see, here we have everything that needs to be completed. So basically, we can already see really the end zone here. So I hope that it continues going so well as it was the last few days, and that really I'm going to have a finish of that this month. So super exciting. But before we start stitching, let me just show you something, because as I told you, I was planning to do my green dyeing, and I did. So it's I basically used a few scraps of fabric that I had in a variety of counts and different fabrics and so on. So you can see how fabrics take the same dye in a completely different way. So let me start with 18 count. So it's just like, it's a bit more like lime green, I would say, in like normal light. Let me check if I can change my light so it may... Oh, this is a bit better. This is a bit better. So yeah, just like so, this is 18 count, and this is what we have on 18 count, and I have like 2 pieces of that. I really like this one with all this like kind of flowery things, or I already have some ideas what I want to stitch on that. So when I finish my House of Hearts, I think that I might have like a tiny project for this. Now the second one that I dyed was this is 22 count. So as you can see, completely different, and I also did like 2 pieces of fabric. It looks more grayish, bluish. Okay, the cats had food, and now they are just running and screaming and jumping on things. So this is more bluish, grayish, and the difference is just like completely amazing. And the last piece that I dyed, and sorry, I am the most excited about this one, I think, and this is actually 24 count. So this is 24 count, and look, it's pretty true to color, I would say. So it's definitely darker, and there is one thing that I need to try to stitch on this one, because this is almost exactly the color that I wanted. So I need to see if that's going to work on. So as you can see, I was just like grabbing scraps, and there was a tiny bit of stitching, and I think that it was CXC. So as you can see, CXC is not taking the dye at all, because this is exactly the color that we had before. So I just grabbed scraps and just threw it together into the dye. So yeah, and all of them are now enriched with some very precious specialty fluff, because Peppa was rolling her butt around that today, the whole day. So the moment they were dry, there was cut on top of that. So yeah, let me just like put it to the side and we can just like get to stitching. But I'm very, very excited because it really kind of opens a lot of possibilities for me. I am now a bit less afraid of just dropping stuff into the dye and just hoping for the best. So yeah, the results, I'm pretty happy about that. So today we're going to work on some of these hanging threads here. Maybe it's not going to be like the most exciting, sorry, because it's mostly like stitching on this line here, but there are going to be also some leaves. I'm just trying to be very, very careful and not to show you the pattern, but I think that I would be showing you the pattern for just like a straight line here. But let me change my light again, because this white light was like too cold for my liking at the moment. So yesterday I went to my reha. It was pretty nice, and it always just like feels better when I am done, and it's just kind of, you feel that you did something for yourself, for your body and so on. So that was really, really nice. Tomorrow I am planning to get myself together and go properly to the gym. I think that it is very, very easy for me to kind of lose the rhythm. It's even difficult to be talking about the routine as such. So if I manage to create something that resembles any kind of routine in any way, I kind of feel twice as guilty when I lose it and it's just like not happening, because I know that first, it is good. Second, I enjoy it. Third, it's something to kind of invest in yourself, in your body and so on. So basically I do hope that I will be able to get myself back into the whole routine and so on, so I can really do it on regular again, because I miss it. I really miss it. It might for a moment limit my stitchy time a bit, but on the other hand, when the daylight is longer, I think that I will find a way to have enough time for both things during the day. Sorry, I have my phone on the charger, so I think that I am hitting the charger from time to time, so you might have some shakes. But I have to tell you that it's just recently I've been feeling a bit strange, not fully like myself. It's just I'm trying to give myself a bit of grace and just let things happen, observe what is happening and so on, but it's just sometimes I feel that I am kind of getting lost in everything. That's why I'm so happy that I managed to at least keep up with stitching and like stitching together with you, because it also helps me to kind of organize my thoughts, or maybe just not necessarily organize, but to articulate them and to be able to actually have this moment of saying something aloud and letting that sink in somehow. So this stitching together was super beneficial also for my mental health. So I would really like to keep doing that and see where it's going to take us together. But I also do hope that I will soon get myself organized enough with all my projects and so on that I can also film a normal update or even film a whip parade, because I really love sharing my hobby with you. And as I was telling you earlier, there were moments when I was thinking that my channel should be this or that, and I kind of felt bad that I cannot deliver. But at the moment, this is so much just for me. I have my time with my hobby, I have my time with my friends, and I can really spend some quality time letting my creative side reign. Because during the day, it's a kind of bit of a different persona that you get, because my field is rather specific, where you need to think a lot in different directions, because this is the IP area. So there are lots of like laws, lots of rules to take into consideration. Even sometimes when and it really changes so much that sometimes 1 week you are preparing something for a case in a specific country, and the next week you have a similar case in the same country, but it turns out that something changed in between, and you need to like learn things anew. I love it. I absolutely love it. It gives me such a kick. It's very difficult for me to explain to people what I do for work. So I usually just say, okay, this is like the intellectual property. That's it. So because when I try to explain anything, this is just lots of confusing looks. So I don't know if that's my way of explaining things. or it's just really the field that I am in is so funky. But I also hear that from my colleagues at work, that they're the same, that they just like sometimes have issues with explaining things. It's just, yeah, we know what we are doing. We really know what we are doing. It just, when you try to explain that, it's just like, yeah, yes. I have a computer and I use a computer at work. I send emails. I prepare documents. So it doesn't sound very, very exciting, but I really love it. I really love it. Okay, and now we need to, of course, so what happened? I miscounted again. And these patterns are super easy when I'm not yapping. But the moment I start talking, counting is out of the window. So now we are unstitching things. Okay, let me just like pull out my thread, because is that where we are now, or is that another one? Yep. What are your thoughts about frogging? I always think that it's just, I don't mind. Of course, I would prefer not to have to do it, but when it happens, I am pretty fine with that. Is it strange? Because basically, this is one of these moments in life where your mistake can be fixed very, very easily. And I do not think that this is what actually happens in life so often, that when you make a mistake, it's just so easily fixable. Okay, there is just like a bit of regret that you didn't do that properly the first time, but it's basically not the end of the world. It's just a mistake. It's just a piece of thread. You can frog it, you can fudge it. I actually like frogging. If I'm fudging, usually it's on full coverage, because usually there is like enough confetti that I don't want to go through that. So this is just like, okay, if that's somewhere where you have like a lot of confetti, there are lots of colors and so on, I'm fine with that. I'm really fine with that. I'm not going to be trying to unpick stitches that you really don't know where the thread is going and so on. So this is just something that I can simply do. Okay, just double checking where I am. Good, so now we are counting to 4. Exciting times. I feel that today I'm a bit more quiet than I was in other videos. I hope that you're fine with that. Today it's just me sitting with my friends, stitching. Tonight I am lucky because I'm lucky. My boyfriend was shopping after work. We had like an idea for dinner, but then he was just like, okay, I'm going to cook, because it's just like we had the idea, and at the moment I just like know what I want to do and so on. So if you don't mind, I'm just taking over kitchen. I'm just like, be my guest. I really don't mind. I can just like sit here and stitch. What am I to complain about? I don't know why, but for a whole day, I had such a massive craving for tomato soup with grilled cheese. It's, yeah, no idea. Basically, I am a tomato girl and I can have tomatoes in absolutely almost every version imaginable. And I think that tomato soup could be one of the things that I could eat on repeat. And with ADHD, very often you just like have this kind of periods of eating specific stuff until you cannot look at them. So at the moment I am like back in my tomato period, because tomatoes started tasting like tomatoes again, because in winter very often they have absolutely zero taste. There is nothing tomatoey about them. So the moment when they start tasting like something, I could just like eat them like apples. So this slowly starts, and I'm already excited. Let's hope that the weather is going to be nice. There is going to be a lot of sun, so they taste as they should. Just checking where I am. I am in the right place. Good. Today I was watching for a moment Caroline and Kerry from Evertoad and Roxy Flosco, and they stitch a lot on modern folk embroidery as well. So of course I needed to go and peruse the website and see what is happening in there, and I found a few patterns that I kind of didn't notice before, but they seem very how to call that? In my head, they seem to be in the same stitching rhythm category as my House of Hearts. So some of them are definitely going onto my wish list for the future. And basically avato.ca and Roxy Flasco, so Caroline and Carrie, on their floss tube between two whips. It's such a delight. It's such a delight. It's just like you can see the chemistry between them. It's just, this is this kind of amazing friendship chemistry that it's just like these girls are working together and they still have so many things to just like laugh about and so on. I absolutely love it. So very often when I do something, I just have their floss tube playing in the background, just to listen to the voices and listen to the stories, because I know that we are just like in this kind of group where we all get super excited about threads, about floss, about fabrics and so on. But it's just like so nice to listen to friends being the same as you are about stuff. I very much like, recently especially, I am extremely drawn towards floss tubes with that have nice voices, and there is like a sense of calm coming out of that. So I have been watching a lot of Jason X Stitch, Jen's Fiberweb. These are the ones that I am kind of coming back to, even if I watched their episodes already. They are good for my brain. Okay, we can finish this floss here and go somewhere else. Sorry for the beeping in the background. The washing machine just finished and I didn't think about just like setting up to the silent mode so it wouldn't be announcing that it's done so loudly and so wildly. Okay, I'm here. This one is, I didn't mark it yesterday apparently, so we have a bit, I think that we might have had a bit more stitching yesterday. This is 1, 2, 1, 2, yes. So we are currently definitely at 90%, and there is 2,365 stitches left until the end. So I think that I'm going to leave you here. I'm going to continue trying to be more with myself and with my project, and definitely some floss tubers because it's the beginning of the month, so There are lots of usual suspects on my list. I already watched Coco Creates video today. I just saw, before I just started filming, that Cross Stitch Jess posted a new one. So I'm definitely going to be catching up and maybe getting inspired to film a proper update. Thank you again for being here with me and for joining me on this journey. And let's hope that soon you will see a completed project. Have a good evening, everyone. Bye-bye.